fields of harvest that are being open to us. And Brother Tony, when he introduced me, mentioned what we were doing in government. And to me, that is really a gift that the Lord opened up for us. Because as we experience dwindling number of participants in the CLPs in the parishes, we saw corporate CLPs being opened and really participants in great number. And this is what we experience in our CLPs in government. At first, it took time for us to be accepted to do the CLPs. But eventually, the government offices are now the ones asking us to do the CLPs. And we're in over 60 national agencies now. And that number will continue to grow. If you visit the Philippines again and you go around the Quezon elliptical circle, where all the government offices are, chances are all those buildings you see there have CFC members because of the evangelization thrust we have in government. Brother Tony mentioned about Malacanang. That's true. When we were there, when I was there, we had 3 CLPs for the career officials of Malacanang, and people always say that, what about the very top? Can you bring them to the CLP? It will take a little time, but actually before President Arroyo became president, when she was vice president, this was mentioned to her, and she actually committed to attend the CLP. Except that when she became president, the whole thing changed. She said, well, we understand that she has to project that she is a president of the entire country, not just, she might be too identified with CFC, and that might actually create some negative backlash too if she's seen to be favoring just one group. But that's okay. Perhaps when she is no longer president, then we will continue to invite her. But there have been just tremendous opportunity here, brothers and sisters. And when we talk about the Philippines, one of the things that we carry as our cross, perhaps, is the perception and the reality that our government is corrupt. And I believe that when we do Christian life programs and do evangelization in government, aside from transforming persons and individuals, we are also given the opportunity to transform institutions. The whole institution hopefully will acquire a value based really on solid Christian teachings. And that is what we hope to do. That after a while, the renewed Christians in government will outnumber those who are not. And that will probably change the whole culture, the whole way of doing things. So in fact, I sometimes, I say this to our kababayans, when you go to the Philippines and you have to transact something with government, don't immediately think that you can do the usual. You need to pay extra for certain things. Don't immediately do that, because the people you're dealing with might be CFC members. And there are many stories here, and it's quite reassuring that we are moving in this track. Now, the CLPs, the evangelization for our government agencies, is not limited to the national level. We're going down to the grassroots, to the barangays, to the local government units. Hand in hand with Gawad Kalinga, we are starting to make a tent. I'd like to cite, for example, one of my favorite examples is this young Singles for Christ leader who is also barangay chairman, barangay captain in one of the barangays in Metro Manila. I don't know if anyone's from Pasig here. In Barangay Ugong in Pasig, the Singles for Christ barangay chairman is so bold in his evangelization that he issued out a memo to all his employees inviting them to attend a CLP. With his signature there, and he did more than that. When the CLP was scheduled, which is after office hours, he would stand by the Pandi clock, where people, time in and time out, so that no one escapes. That was really good. That was, for the first time, there was pressure, but after a while, the participants attended on their own accord because they have since experienced the wonderful thing that happens when we, when we grow closer to the Lord. But these things are happening not only in government, but also in our corporations, in the corporate setting. And Meralco, for example, we have a thriving CFC chapter there, complete all the way down to the Kids for Christ, because the children of the employees, they send them to Kids Cup sponsored by the CFC community in Meralco, and other corporations are following suit. And I had the opportunity to challenge our brothers and sisters working in the business environment, to more or less expand their mindset and say, I told them, for example, that when you go through Ayala Avenue or Makati Avenue or Paseo de Rojas, and all these places where there are tall buildings filled with offices, don't look at the buildings as just buildings. Okay? Look at each of the buildings as a potential chapter of CFC. And then the whole mindset will change, and then you will go for it. And this is happening, brothers and sisters, and we would like to push this because, as I said, loving our neighbor, perhaps the best way to do that, to express that, is bringing them to a relationship with God. And one other wonderful vehicle that evangelization can really be given a major push is Gawad Kalinga. Gawad Kalinga, there are issues and there are concerns in Gawad Kalinga that has been expressed, especially the past few months. And those issues and concerns will be attended to. But I hope the issues and concerns do not make us lose sight of the real fact that GK offers a wonderful way to evangelize. And I just, because of what has happened, the charge of bearing away and all of that, we in the council began to check what's really happening on the ground on GK, and we found out that most of the Gawad Kalinga sites have conducted their CLPs. About 85% of all GK sites have conducted their CLPs. Of course, we cannot really hope for 100% because we have GK in the Muslim areas. And our basic agreement there in our GK in the Muslim areas is there will be no proselytizing, there will be no conversion. We respect each other's faith. But because the Philippines is 80% Christian, we can expect about 80 to 85% really of these GK sites where we can do our evangelization. And it is happening, and I'd like to say some of us might not fully appreciate that. Many of the places where there are GK sites, CFC would never have gone there to evangelize because some are dangerous places. I don't see us, I wouldn't have seen us going to Baseco or Payatas or Smoky Mountain